Why did she do that? I think I might have fixed this. I don't know. I don't know how to use any of this at all. Wait a minute. It's not saying I'm muted. So why does it say that then? I don't know. I wonder if I could do this. Ooh! Okay, now I can do it. And now I might be able to do this too. Google is requesting a bypass private system. Okay. All right. What are we looking at? Someone wanted to look at all these things. Wait a minute. Can you hear me when I do this? Ooh, I can do it like this. Okay, Buru is our win. All right, wait. If I did that, can you still see it? Yeah. Okay. If I say we're definitely doing Buru, 100%. Let's see here. Buru, people, I think it pulls an ons, and obviously we have to wait, but this is a very promising one, I think. And wait a minute. Okay, here's our tactical bubble. I think the tactical bubble is going to be what the drone in a box is to ons. And I think if you had 2,500 shares of Buru, and then Buru pulls an ons, that could mean in less than a year, whatever 25,000 is times 15. And then here would be all Buru's stuff. Wait. These tactical bubbles is everything. Everything. And they're going to connect the... I had 30,000 at one time. We'll get back in. I really think it's going to do it. I think it's going to do it. Defense tech ambitions with technique acquisition and tactical bubble deployment. That's all they really need here is the tactical bubbles. And then I think they're going to do a lot. They're going to do a lot.
I'm going to leave.
And then
You want me to visit more?
I might also say...
Start being kinder.
If I was also going to say here... Okay. 15 cents. I don't know if it's good. Yeah, it could probably go down to 15 cents. I think it can go down to 15 cents again. If we're going to say we don't trust Zamboni, why not? What did Zamboni do that makes him not trustable? Zamboni experience. And not... Oops, that's not what I want to say. Buru, CEO, Zamboni. Go to... Should we wait for a certain price point on ONS? Well, ONS is at a kind of a low. But this thing that Zamboni does, and if I ask if I trust him, that he took on this guy who's the defense expert, and then he took over Buru from the last guy in the effort to make it a defense company. He hasn't done anything particularly sketchy as a CEO in any of the stuff he's holding. So, and if we have this guy, Maddox Defense Buru, if Zamboni is such a sketchball, then why did Maddox want to do this strategic alliance with them? That is what I would say why I don't think that he's a sketchball, because he was chosen by this guy, Jason Maddox. And Jason Maddox, I think Jason Maddox specifically chose Buru to do all this because with the Techni acquisition, that's going to make them a NATO ally or a company that's allowed to sell to NATO. And Maddox Defense can sell to the United States military, but they don't have all the stuff to sell to, NATO. So that's why I say, I think I trust Zamboni. And another reason I trust Zamboni is the fact that if you look up their last press release, this one, when they provide updates, they didn't have to tell anyone that, because they had said they were going to have everything done by the end of the year, right? And it didn't get done by the end of the year. It got done by this year. Well, not all of it's done, but the techni stuff is happened. So I feel like if he is doing everything he says he's going to do in a relatively timely fashion, and he's the one negotiating with the Italian government, him and the guy, the co-CEO. So I have trust in Zamboni. I think I do. I think I do. And also, they have that one guy, Anthony Sennett, and he's all over LinkedIn, and he's doing company as well. So I would have to say that I think he's going to do it. I think he's going to do it. And here he is talking about the Techni tactical bubbles. So I'm going to say Buru can do it. Wait, where's his post? Here's him talking about Iran. Here, he is a board member on Techni. And he also is the advisory member of the board of directors for the K9s for Warriors. He has influence, a lot of influence. And the fact that he is bullish, he helped with this merger. And then I think our government is going to buy these. I think they're going to buy a lot of them. So that's what I would say. I'm going to say Buru. What else am I going to say? For the person that had 10,000, I would say here. Well, they could do a reverse split. They really could, but they don't have to because they're on the NYSE. So they can actually stay below $1 and it's not a big deal. The same holds true with whatchamacallit, OPTT, which OPTT is my other one that I pretty much am all in OPTT, and I think they're going to do it. But if you want something that's like a safe one, and I told somebody else this one, you have this semiconductor ETF, and right now, obviously it's at a high. Well, not a total high, but this was our tariff DeepSeek. If you're only, why would you only put it in one? I don't think you should just only put it in one. Is semi available in South Africa? Because if I were you, I would want to do a dividend semiconductor. This is a dividend semiconductor play. It has a 4.36% dividend, and its top holding is going to be NVIDIA. And these other ones, Avgo, Apple. I'm not a big fan of Apple, but you got Microsoft. You have LRCX. This is a very nice one. If you are able to go into semi, I think that's a good semiconductor play. And then I might say, do you have COPJ? COPJ is going to be another one that I think will do really well. Thank you. And then see, but copper is on a rise. Copper, here was your time to get into copper. But honestly, check semi. Semi, I think, is a good semiconductor one. And then you have this one. The trajectory on semis is going to be, it's going to go. It's going to go all year. It's the same with copper. Copper is going to run like silver. Speculation, not investment advice, but copper. And this copper play is my favorite one now because it's going to have a 10.17% dividend. And these COPJ means it's the teenier copper mines. So you would also have exposure to TMQ. And TMQ, that is the one that got the road and they got the investment from the United States government. But we would want to know when TMQ is producing. Well, TMQ, when will it be operational? They're trying to say that all these mines, 10.17% dividend on COPJ, which is really fucking nice, in my opinion. So with TMQ, they're saying with the, so they got all their permits set to go. They're saying 2026 is the pivotal year for permitting. Permitting is not an issue. They're going to let them have whatever they want. But see, the thing about TMQ is they split the money 50-50 with this other company called SUI, which is and NOC won't be doing that. NOC could partner with Rio, but this one is the SUI one. Out of JP, what is JP? Out of JP, I don't know what that is. But this one is the other one that is doing the mining with, holy shit, I didn't realize it did that. What the fuck? That's when TMQ got the road. Damn. That is a nice one. They're doing better. Oh, because they're already mining. They already have mining stuff set up. So that's why they're going up more. And they're Australian. They have a 2.16% dividend. I might say that would have been a good one. But what can you do now? But anyways, I still say Cup J. Does Cup J hold that? If Cup J holds that, I would do Cup J over TMQ simply because you can have a dividend. TMC is my daddy Gerard, and TMC can really have a run. Now, here is the problem with TMC is the fact that people don't think Gerard's going to be able to get these minerals from the seafloor. TMC, the minerals, largest investors, but the son of Hess gas station thinks Gerard can get the minerals. So I might think he knows what he's talking about. So he has Hess Capital and the SAF group gave a 37 million strategic investment. That was no dilution. And the fact that the Korean zinc company works with Gerard is a really big deal. This All Seas group is also a really big deal. And what can really be the make or break for Gerard at this point in the TMC is Japan explores deep sea minerals. And the other thing that's really in Gerard's favor right now is Japan has a fucking right-wing president, and she doesn't give a fuck about the seafloor. She wants the rare earths from their seafloor. So when Japan announced that they're going to be actively exploring and testing the deep sea mining, because Japan has no rare earths, and they stockpiled the rare earths, I think it is worth holding. Would I say to buy now? I might not say to buy now. It is a risk. It's a risk if you're going to buy now. If you're already holding, like I'm already holding since they were at $1, so I'm going to hold them. But if Japan pays TMC to do this exploration, then that's going to be huge. And that is literally going to be everything for TMC if they start getting money from Japan. And somebody on X said that Japan is using All Seas to do this, which All Seas is connected to TMC. But at the present time, Japan didn't say they're using All Seas. They said they're using their own government organizations. So that's that. Worth holding. So I would say SMCI. Is SMCI a fucking Bitcoin thing? I don't know. I don't really follow this one because is this the company that just holds a bunch of Bitcoin? What are they holding? They have, I think that's kind of all they do. And they're certainly on the shitter. I don't know. I would assume these guys can come back. What? They make engages in the distribution and manufacture of information technology solutions and other computer products. Are they making RAM? LAC is, I don't know. It's up to you. LAC got their money. CEO is cousins with NVIDIA CEO. Well, so is AMD. So how many fucking cousins does Jensen have? I didn't know that. I would ask, are they, wait a minute. I want to ask them, if they're like if they're like MU, then I want them. Wait a minute. Oh, you're confusing. Wait a minute. Do they make semiconductors? Does SMCI manufacture components like RAM similar to MU? If SMCI manufactures components, okay, wait. They design, produce, and fabricate the actual DRAM memory chips at its own fabs. It is one of the world's top 3 DRAM producers. Yeah, I could say that these guys could come back easily, especially with how many centers specialize in designing, assembling, and selling complete high-performance server storage rack systems related IT infrastructure. Yeah, they could do things, but they are known to look like shit. And I do hear a lot of bad shit about that guy. So I don't know if these are all unavailable except for ONS. Cop J is unavailable? What are you trading in? Can you get into Amazon? Get into Amazon. What else can you get into? If you can get into Amazon, that's definitely a really, 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 really good hold. I'm going to say, what are you trading in? And then I'll be able to tell you better things. Because ONS, you're not going to go that wrong. Yeah, SMCI will do. Okay, then I would say Amazon is one you would want to do. Well, you want growth things. I mean, are you trying to make a risk? Do they have knock? Can you see if they have knock? I'm going to say go into knock. Amazon is a nice safe one. Do they have URNJ? URNJ is a uranium ETF, and I would definitely say that one. And URNJ is my favorite uranium ETF. They are on a high. And if you're going to throw all your money in on Monday, you would want to prepare yourself for the fact that everything is on a high right now, okay? So if you're going to go and be buying things when they're literally at their highs, you have to be prepared for things to go down some. That's all there is to it. Even uranium can have a drop, even in a uranium revolution. And URNJ is going to have a 5.21% dividend, which I think is really fucking nice. And they're going to have, that's URNJ's top holding. So I would have to say all these uranium stocks are going to be very poised for growth. And UUUU is different than just a uranium stock. They're doing rare earth processing for magnets. So this is certainly my favorite ETF. If you can get into that, that is a good one. I bet they will have UUU. UUU is going to be a $1 trillion company at some point. Well, I don't know, $1 trillion. No, maybe not. Well, eventually they could. They're going to do big things. UUU is a good play. You want to get into that. URNM is another one that is good. But URNM is a good one if you want to. So URNM has a smaller dividend, but it's still 2.51, so that's still a really good dividend. And see, here's the thing about URNM. They are very CCJ heavy. So not that anything would ever happen with CCJ, because they're a miner and they process the fuel. So this is a very good one. This one's sitting it's a costlier ETF, and the dividend is smaller. No, I don't hold anything in the Chinese stocks because I don't trust that our government won't cut off all American investment into China stocks. I read the Congressional China Committee's report, and they talk about how congressional report on China. There's a section in one of their reports that basically says that China has the ability to cut off American investors. I don't know. It sounded very easy, but it sounded like something that our government would do, not the Chinese government. BMNR is a Bitcoin play, or one of these crypto plays, and I don't really fuck with them that much, but I know that they get pumped very heavily on X, and they are on a major down. If people would have been in that one, that was crazy. So an Ethereum play. I don't trust crypto because crypto is only as valuable as the other people holding it. And I'm not, I don't know. And I think Mr. Beast is a fucking scammer. Riot is a good one for a, whatchamacallit, a crypto miner. Yeah, these are all good. All of these go. Riot, mining. I'm going to go with Wolf, but honestly, this one's probably better. But you want to get into these when they're on downs, because now these guys are going to go on a run. So, THH. Robotics companies. There's a lot of robotics companies, but I put my money into Aria. I don't know what this is. It doesn't. Operates in Japan. I would be nervous about that because Trump can fuck Japan whenever he feels like it, and they have no recourse on that. So, me personally, I would avoid Japanese companies as well, but that's just me. Robotics, I say XBotF, and I think XBotF does it. I really do. And I would say they're still on a low. And all this, 2 humanoid robots chat unscripted in 4 languages for 2 hours at SES. No other robots are doing this. So I don't even care what anybody says. Here. What was this? Dude, are you kidding me? When did he just do that? Oh, wait a minute. This is huge. This is huge. But anyways, XBotF is my robotics play. I do hold some RR. But I really keep cutting in and out. I don't know how to do any of this, people. I don't know how to do a live. I just don't, okay? I'm trying my best. But sound. All right, I'm gonna have to come back. Is it sound now? No? Oh, okay. Do you know about iron? Iron is a good play. Obviously. I would say iron is a good play. Any of the Bitcoin miners are good plays. Wait a minute. I want to go to this one in another screen because I need to see what they're saying about that Blue Owl is connected to the Trump administration. That's fucking huge. All of these are nothing wrong with any of these. You have Clean Spark. That is a good one. As long as you're getting these on a low, then you're not going to have a problem. Clean Spark is most definitely on a low. That is a low. And I think that Clean Spark can do it. They have, it's just a matter of preference. Clean Spark has 223 million in revenue just in Q3. And their balance sheet looks nice. They have 3.3 in assets. I would say Clean Spark is a nice one. I'm partial to Wolf because Wolf has the Google connection, the United Arab Emirates connection, and they're on a decent, they're not as volatile as the other ones either, which I think that is nice. They're not obviously at iron's level, but you could say that, well, I was going to say they're a little less volatile, but I wouldn't be complaining about iron's volatility. So any of these. And then you also have Mara. And then you have the little ones like BITF. Oh, Mara's on a shithole. Why? I don't know. That one could be another play. They're doing the mining and the crypto. See, but Wolf does the data centers. Iron does the data centers. You want a crypto miner that branches out into data centers because then they're not as reliant on the price of crypto because one like Mara is gonna, and I think one like Riot are very dependent on the price of crypto, the price of Bitcoin. And then you also have a little one, Hive. And Hive, I think, could go. And I kind of watch Hive since these ranges. And Hive is most definitely on a down. And that is another one that could have nice gains. Same with BITF. People like BITF. Personally, I think the best you could look for a crypto mining or a data, all these in an ETF. I'm sure there's an ETF with all these that would also have a dividend. And I might say that could be the better bet if you wanted something safe. But if you trust these guys, they can definitely go up. DJT, I don't trust. DJT that's Trump's shit. And now they're in that, now they have that. This is when Trump acquired the nuclear fusion company. If I was going to try to play something that the Trumps are going to play, I'm going to play ASPI because the Trump brothers invested in this in November. And I think, actually, if you're in South Africa, they definitely have ASPI. I know that because it's in South Africa. So I would say ASPI is a very good nuclear company. But wait, I want to look at this. This is really big for NI. What is digital partners with primary digital infrastructure to co-develop up to 1+ gigawatts? Okay, so NUAI, they started the venture with another AI company and then they bought them out. And then people were saying that was not good for NUAI. NUAI is a natural gas helium. They're an energy company. So primary digital infrastructure, is this Trump's son's is this Trump's son's company? If NUAI just part of son's company, then I think, wait a minute. It's based in Texas. It's the company partners with major players in the sector, such as Blue Owl Capital. I'm pretty sure Blue Owl Capital that's Eric's company. Then this is the best thing that could possibly happen to to NUAI. Is that Blue Owl Capital? Is Eric's company? This is huge. This is huge. I don't know if I would do you have NUAI? If you have NUAI, I would do NUAI. Do you have ASPI? You should definitely have ASPI. You have to have that. That's in South Africa. I want to say they listed it there. This is huge. The formation partnership with Primary Digital is a watershed moment for NUAI and the powerful validation of their business. And they're getting sued by New Mexico. So now if they're partnered with, now it doesn't matter if they're getting sued by New Mexico. Because now, dude, this NUAI is a win. A fucking win. I might even say doing this. NUAI isn't a penny stock anymore. They don't have this. Do they have ASPI? In South Africa? If they have ASPI, you want this. What else do they have? XTI. XTI is a good one. Do they have it? They should have this. You want ASPI. That's going to be everything. And they should have, you need a uranium. Well, this is going to do that. This will do that. Tulsa. Get ASPI. That's what you want. You want ASPI. Put that on your list. Do they give you SMR? If they give you SMR, I say go into SMR. and SMR is on a low. And SMR is better than Oklo. And I don't care what anybody says about that. And you have Oklo sitting at 90. The reason that SMR is so low right now is because they had an investor that was pulling out, FLR, because FLR was SMR's biggest backer, and their SMR doesn't need a backer anymore. So this company has been slowly selling out their stake. So now that's all done. So now SMR is going to be a lot more appealing to people. And I say SMR over Oklo. ARCAT is a drone company. Obviously, I mean, ARCAT is one that's, oh shit. Well, you don't get ARCAT here. You wait for ARCAT to go down, because my new TikTok is Celine Dion fan. Copen is a nice play, but I would say that Copen is heavily invested. ANS invests in Copen. ANS is invested in Copen. So, to be honest, if you didn't want to be like spreading yourself so thin in all these different positions, I would just say go into Andis, because Andis is going to be working with Copen and profiting when they profit. Same with UMAC. But see, I've been thinking about getting, I don't know yet. I was going to sell my UMAC. I did sell some of my UMAC on Friday on this big high, but then I didn't want to sell all of it because I think Buru, 20K into Buru is going to be real hot. I think Buru is going to do it. But see, here's UMAC. You're not buying UMAC on a high, people. All these drones are going to go down. Eventually, all of them go down. But see, sometimes I might just say, I don't know, UMAC makes the drone components. But now UMAC is really on a high. I'm going to say XTIA, obviously, because XTIA is going to report revenue from the drones. If you have XTIA, that would be a good one. Do you have XTIA? I would say they're going to do something. And some people don't think they're going to do it, but I think they're going to do it. And all they have to do is say they have revenue. Keeps my UMAC. You don't go around keeping UMAC. I really don't think so. They're going to keep rising because they make drone components. And UMAC, Don Jr., see, here would be the one thing I worry about UMAC is they loot eventually, because UMAC's goal is to have a drone component factory. And drone component factories aren't free. So UMAC diluting at some point, it's not going to obviously break them, but they'll have a drop. I don't know when they would do I don't know when, but I do think that is a possibility. But the fact that Don Jr. is on the board of that one is very, very promising. There's no XTIA. I don't know. What else could you do? Amazon? Can you do MBOT? MBOT, I do think, is going to do a lot. Is MBOT on there? MBOT's going to have their Liberty systems. That's going to be a big one. I think that MBOT, once they start reporting their sales, ANS is a long hold. ANS is going to do what Palantir did. This is what Palantir did. Back in this account, I would have been in Palantir at 70. Well, actually, I had sold it out. But if that's November 17, 2024, I think that ANS is easily going to have 100. I think ANS can easily have 100% gain this year. If last year, I mean, what ANS is doing is very special. And this is a drone revolution. So if ANS was at this in March, mid-March, I think Buru is going to do that too. When should I sell my cooler? When it's up. You don't have to sell your cooler. I think Cooler's going to do it. And a lot of people doubt Cooler. But I don't give a fuck because I know that Cooler's going to do shit. And Cooler is selling battery systems. along with AMPX. So if you look at AMPX, they're partnered with Cooler to do Cooler AMPX partnership. This is going to be huge. And I think one of the reasons that Cooler went and got all that stupid Bitcoin was so that they would be favorable to the administration. And now they are. And I think Cooler is going to do a lot of stuff. And Cooler is also going to do stuff with data centers, which people don't pay attention to, because Cooler is actively in the Taiwan market. And I feel like they're learning stuff in the Taiwan market, and then they're going to come and they'll be able to use this zero vibe is what Cooler has. And apparently it's supposed to make it so, I don't know, it does something with the data centers. It cools them down and makes them less like, I don't really know what it does, but it definitely does something with that. If you're going to do a data center play, I would do NUAI. Is UPS a good play? I don't know. I don't know. What is UPS doing? I would probably say it depends on where it's at. And honestly, I think that Amazon's going to replace a lot of stuff. Like with these companies, what is their dividend? I don't know. They're certainly struggling with a lot of shit. If they got into drones and they were doing drone package stuff, I would say that they could do something, but they're certainly in the shithole for the last 5 years. So I would start to ask myself, is UPS adapting to like new technology? Are they going to be able to come up? And are they going to be able to come up a lot? Because if they do deliver drones, but see, what's going to stop Amazon and Google and Walmart from, because they're also, all three of those guys are doing drone deliveries, and they can easily cut into UPS. They can bully UPS out of everything. So I don't know. DFly. Netflix can do things. Obviously. I don't know. Me personally, if I was going to say Netflix now at this price, obviously nobody's ever going to stop watching Netflix, you know? And is Netflix going to be able to acquire that deal? I think they will. If Larry Ellison can get, they've been partnering with AMC. Yeah, Netflix can do it, but Netflix is pricier. And okay, if Netflix had 4.47% gain last year, right? So that's their gain. They have zero dividend. Why? Unless you thought that you were going to get 100% gain from Netflix, right? Do you think you're going to get 100% gain from Netflix? Because I think I'm going to get 100% gain from uranium. 100%. I believe that uranium, I don't know, at least 50%. I think that uranium will have at least 50% gains. And then this also has a dividend. So I don't know. You have Netflix or even COPJ. I would honestly say that COPJ. I think that copper is going to have another year. I think that next year I could sit here and look at COPJ and it could be at 90. Do I think that I can sit at Netflix next year and think it's going to be at 180? I don't know. But or an energy. Yeah, energy is going to do more than Netflix as well. I'm not saying that Netflix is a bad hold, but I think there's other things that you can do. I don't know. I think there's other places to put the money. This is a nice drone play. People like them. Dragonfly. They're certainly on a down. Oh no, they're a battery play. I thought Dragonfly did drones. There's a lot of battery plays. There's going to be a lot of lithium ion battery plays. So if you're going to go with, there is another this isn't the company. this, if it's a battery company. And if I was going to say a battery play, because here are all your battery plays. You have EOS, which is probably the strongest one if you would have gotten in when it was on the low or at that low. I wouldn't go into EOS right now. EOS is on a high. And then you have Solid Power. That's another battery play that I used to fuck with. And then I said, these are all, and Solid Power, they have these partnerships with BMW and another car company. And if I was going to say my favorite battery play is ABAT, because I always recommend Amazon, because Amazon is my favorite stock, because Amazon is going to do the most things. Amazon is going to launch satellites. Amazon has a deal with Hertz, and Amazon has a deal with Ford. They're going to sell used cars when no one can afford new cars. Amazon has Amazon Health. Amazon has a drones. Amazon has a data centers. Amazon has Amazon. Amazon has electric autonomous cars, a fleet they're going to have. Amazon has everything. Amazon has the data centers that all the governments use. Amazon runs the entire internet. Amazon's going to compete with SpaceX. So that's why I am bullish on Amazon, because I think that Amazon is going to grow. If you, Project Cooper, yes. If you have looked at Google last year, Google had 70% gains basically. That's going to, I feel like that's what Amazon will have. And I also feel like you don't go wrong investing in Amazon. That's all there is to it, in my opinion. But then I would say ABAT. Now, ABAT is a battery play, but it's not exactly just a battery play, because ABAT, Tonopah Flats, lithium mine. So ABAT here, they got government funding, a DOE, a Department of Energy loan, to recycle these batteries. And then they lost their government loan, okay? The DOE took the loan away, and then that basically crashed them, all right? But I think that was on purpose, because the DOE is trying to make money, or trying to save money and whatnot. So right around the time that ABAT lost their funding, which was only 57 million, and to be honest, they already had it. So they're still doing that project. They didn't stop the project. This is where ABAT's actual money is going to be in. Their Tonopah Flats lithium project, okay? And the thing about ABAT's thing here is, if you look up what Elon just did. So then a lot of people said that Tesla refining factory. A lot of people said that ABAT was bad for ABAT, that Tesla has started this refining factory in Nevada, because people think that Tesla's vertical integration is a game changer. The new lithium refining factory will be an enormous success. Okay, so this lithium refining factory is not going to compete with ABAT at all, because ABAT is, in a way, if I ask this here about one of these, it's going to tell you that, could Tesla use lithium from ABAT Tonopah Flat project mine? And then you said, where does Tesla currently source their lithium? It will tell you China. Well, various places. So if ABAT, now that this Tesla's factory is 2 miles away from Elon's new factory. And I would say that I think that's on purpose, because Elon's going to try to use Tonopah Flats lithium. And they're saying the claystone lithium. Tesla has a specific technology used to mine claystone lithium. So if they're saying the pilot operations are expected to be 2026 to 2027, with initial commercial production targeted for 2028, I would personally bet, I would bet $3,000. That's how much I have in ABAT. I'm gonna bet $3,000 that I think this pilot operation is gonna be specifically for Tesla. And they're supposed to get a development loan. So here, ABTC's project has received federal priority status and a $900 million letter of interest. ABAT. I would say ABAT's going to 100x. If ABAT gets a $900 million development loan for this mine, and then they tell everyone that they're going to be giving lithium to Elon, whole new ballgame. I think it will put ABAT back at that $11 range. Easily. I think it's going to happen. Because why wouldn't it? Why would Elon make a factory? And all he ever keeps saying is he wants to minimize the reliance on China. So being right next to a mine is everything. There's no current announcements, but I think it's going to come. See, it's saying Tesla's refinery primary process, while Tonopah Flats is claystone, it might require an adjustment. No, I've read it differently, but still. Lithium is lithium, and that's going to be big. And the other thing that ABAT does is they recycle batteries because they recycle old things. So that's also going to be good for Elon because then he can take his old shit and they'll recycle it. So it's not anything to do with ABAT does not compete at all with Tesla. If anything, ABAT complements Tesla immensely. And I think it's going to be huge. Clayton and Elon already owns, does Tesla own lithium mining areas in Nevada? So there's also, he apparently bought 10,000 acres of, I don't know if it's a mine or not, but in 2020, he announced he secured the claims of over 10,000 lithium-rich clay deposits in Nevada. So I don't know where these deposits are. I don't know if they have to do with, if they're near, they have to be somewhat close to ABAT stuff because these are, he has never told anyone where they are. And there's never been more, he's never said any other updates on it. So clearly, lithium mines are valuable to Elon if he bought it and he's literally been sitting on it because Biden wasn't going to let him bust the mine open. So he's been sitting on this mine now for 5 years. Well, yeah, I'm sure he will use the tariffs, but SDST has a place on that rail if it that goes to the ships. I don't know what SDST is, but yeah, that's what it would be. I would say ABAT is certainly a play. And I think that Elon is going to use their stuff. Tariffs will begin February 1st and apply to any goods sent to the U.S. That is bad for ASML because ASML is the Netherlands. That's why I don't fuck with European companies because I just don't think this is another one. Yeah. See, you just have to keep in mind that the battery and the lithium markets, lithium is a very common mineral. So there's really lithium mines all over the place. And there's also going to be a lot of these lithium battery companies. And not all of them are going to make it, obviously. So you just want to make sure you're looking for, that's why I like ABAT, because they have a mine. And I think that sets them apart from the other ones. The Netherlands, wait a minute. There was a company in the Netherlands that I was looking at, and now I don't want it because I don't really. This one is a semiconductor play that I've been looking at, and they're certainly in the shitter. Oh, wait. No, this one's not. This one. See, they're not a They're not manufacturing. Everybody can design and license a proprietary semiconductor technology, but I want one that's making it like AXTI. So I don't know. What was the one in? What was the one? ASML. See, they could. Well, they're not going to have a problem. Actually, I mean, where are they? Yeah, they're in the Netherlands, but you could say that Nvidia is going to have. We need Greenland. I don't think we need Greenland. I mean, I think we already have it. Our bases are already there. I don't know exactly what he wants to do with that, but this is the Greenland mine. This is literally what they're all fighting over. They're fighting over this mine, the Tanbreeze project. And at this point was when Routers wrote an article saying that the United States was going to invest in them. And then they shot up like crazy. And then that turned out to be a rumor, but I don't really think that was, I think it was a rumor based in fact. This isn't necessary. This wouldn't be a British owned mine, I don't think. They're they have it in like whatchamacallit in what do they have it on? The Tony guy isn't British, is he? Virgin Islands. That's just where they're located. That's just for sketchy purposes. Being headquartered in the British Virgin Island. I don't think that matters. But these guys are going to be big. They're going to be a good mine. They're definitely a good mine. Somebody had asked about USAR. USAR is a good mine. That's a round top. But obviously, USAR has the same volatility as CRML. USAR has less minerals, but USAR is in Texas, the round top. So they're going to be able to do whatever they want. Also with USAR, you have TMRC going in on one stock. I don't know. Because what if it doesn't go well? I mean, ONS will do well. I guess there's nothing wrong with going in on one stock. If you really wanted to do ONS, you could really do ONS. I would say out of all the stocks to go all in on, I'm going to say that ONS is the best one. Because if you look at ONS revenue forecast for 2026, he was saying 170 to 180 million. And you could say that that is a conservative estimate. It's difficult to mine. It's expensive. No one gives a fuck about the climate anymore, so that's not even an issue. They're going to bust everything the fuck open, and they don't give a flying fuck if you live near it or if it poisons 7,000 motherfuckers. So we don't need to worry about the fucking environment. Jesus Christ. They don't care. They don't fucking care. UUR, this is a good one. A very good one. They're doing processing. Do they have a mine? Do they have a mine? If they don't have a mine, I mean, get them in on a low. Oh, shit, they do. Fuck. That's a good hold. UURAF is a win. A fucking win. 100% win. In Louisiana? Jesus Christ. If you live in Louisiana, get the fuck out. Or Texas. They're going to turn these states into fucking cesspools. Fucking contaminated cesspools. I don't know who the fuck would. Oops. Uh-oh. Someone's calling me. I have to go. I have to go. I'll be back. I'll do another.